My name is Chris Kim. I am interviewing Melissa Shepard for my Searching for Soul, a photographic portrait class in Dickinson College. Today's date is March 6th, 2023. What does every day look like to you?
Every day. Well, are you asking for my schedule every day, what I like to do, or how I feel every day?
More so how you feel every day.
You know, that changes over the years, over everything. Now, I wake up and I think about what I need to do. I'm writing right now, so the first thing I want to do is write. So when my alarm goes off at dark 30 in the morning, I go through my mind. I try to remember my last dream, and then I try to remember what I need to do today. And then, if it works out, I get everything done. Sometimes it doesn't. But that's pretty typical, I think. Sometimes I start off writing. I also work for Dickinson. I'm a driver. I drive the med van, so that means I need to get up in the morning and get my body out of bed and go in and get everything for the med van, get myself set up for that day, make sure I have everything ready to go. And in the evening, we have dinner with my husband and my daughter, and it's just a typical day.
What does the city of Carlisle mean in your chapter in life?
What a great question. We came to Carlisle 15 years ago with the Army War College. My husband was an instructor there. We came from our last duty assignment. We're now retired Army, and we came here from Africa, from Kenya directly. And for me, Carlisle was a way to settle down. We moved so much, sometimes twice in a year, and we moved all over the place. There was almost no stability that we didn't make ourselves. And being here in Carlisle means we could take a breath and settle in and truly explore and discover and become a part of the community, especially here at the Bookery in the Bosler Library.
So what makes the city of Carlisle a special place?
That is a good question. You've got tons of variety here. We call it diversity, but I look at it as variety. We're close to the cities. We're close to just about anywhere we need to go. Airports are accessible. We've got the train stations, but the people here, no matter who you are, you can walk down the street and start a conversation with somebody. There's so many interesting things here. The history, you know, that Carlisle has been a part of American history all the way back from the 1750s and before. So we've been a part of every primary historic event in our country. Restaurants, you've got restaurants all over the place. And the stories. You can go to somebody and they can tell you a story, and every story is different. I read an obituary within a year or two of getting here. Just decided to read an obituary, and it talked about a woman who had passed away. She was in her 90s, and the obituary said, although not originally from Carlisle, she moved here with her family when she was 3 months old. So the concept was, because she wasn't born here, she wasn't originally from Carlisle, even though she spent the last 97 years and how many months of her life here. So that's kind of interesting, I thought.
What do you think makes photography interesting?
I used to be a photographer. I guess I still am. but I used to do it professionally, starting way back in high school and college, 150 years ago. Oh yeah, you smile. Look at all my gray hairs. I've done event photography, portrait photography, print media photography, and the ability for photography to capture a feeling or a moment or a pinpoint event. Later on, I shot big panoramic scenes because of where we were able to go in Africa, all across the US and Alaska and Europe, everywhere. You have these magnificent scenes and you capture this beautiful scene, and then you can capture the people. And it's best when they don't know you're photographing them because you see them as they are at that moment. But then something you can also do with photography, and this is something I started doing maybe 7 or 8 years ago, specifically, was shooting small, taking a look at the small little details, like a tiny plant growing up in a sidewalk, and you get a pinpoint of that moment in time, or a small butterfly on its last hours of the day of its life as it sits there and opens and closes its wings, and you see the light from the sunset coming in and how it plays in shadows. The idea of that tiny little moment in life that's never going to come back again. It can be large or it can be small and intimate. I think the small and intimate are the best ones, the unexpected pictures. They remind us that life is fleeting, but very worthwhile.
How does it feel to see the students here at Dickinson College? Does it remind you of someone or yourself? If yourself, how so?
Another great question. I love working with the students. I love seeing them and talking with them through the years. There are some students that I see over and over again, particularly with the shuttles and the med van. I take them to appointments and we chat and we talk, and they're at the burgeoning of independence. I call them grown-ups in training because they're so fun and lively, and all of the gamut of emotions are there. They have times where they're afraid, where they're unsure, and they just need to realize that they have everything in them that they need, and that they are in a place where they need to be right now. And I envy them. I envy them starting their lives, starting their independence, everything they have to experience from this point on. The good, the bad, the easy, the hard, the difficult, the challenging, the joys, and sometimes the sadness. But I envy their starting out, and I can envy them being at a place of having experienced many of the things they're going to go through, personally, professionally, shifting and changing. And the world now is so much different than it was when I was their age, when I was your age. Things were a little slower. Now things are fast. And sometimes stopping, taking a breath, and looking at the big picture and looking at the small as well is what you need to do. And I envy their challenges moving forward.
Final question is, can you point out a moment in your life where it started to change for the better?
Being military, we moved all the time. When we got here, I think we were on our 18th location in 24 years, 23 years. So that's how many times we moved. And settling down and unpacking, and this is going to sound really strange, being able to throw away the moving boxes because we knew we were here. We always said we were going to have a ceremonial burning of the boxes when we were at our grow old, die, and be buried under the clematis house. Just so we could celebrate stability and a place where we can settle down, have some roots, and have friends that we knew were going to be there, and we were going to be a part of a community for a long time. And Carlisle is a great community to be a part of. You can get as involved as you like in as many things as you like. And if you look, you can find something for you, whether you're here temporarily, as we thought we were going to be, but it turned out we've been here 15 years. And that's pretty amazing for us. So that was a changing point for us. We're close to our families, just a few hours away, but still to be able to be settled down and to give back to a community and be a part of a community is such a joy.
That concludes our interview. Thank you very much.
Thank you.